Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for being here tonight. I'm John Lane, principal here at the high school. It's a pleasure to have you here with us. As you were coming in, I saw a lot of familiar faces. Remembering when this group were seventh graders just a short time ago. So it's really nice to see all of you here tonight. Definitely looking forward to working with all of you students that are here in the room, and of course parents and guardians that are here with us tonight. Tonight is a very positive, forward-looking evening. It's all about the future that each and every one of you eighth graders have as members of the Ravenna High School family. And that's what tonight is all about, kind of getting you started in the right direction as far as what your ninth grade year can look like. But as you'll see in our presentation tonight, we're not just here to talk about your ninth grade year. We want you already start thinking about what's 10th grade maybe look like, 11th grade. Because before you know it, you're going to be a senior here walking these halls. Just like our seniors that are gearing up for graduation, they were sitting in those very seats a few short years ago. And here they are, it's their senior year, they're going to be graduating in a few months. So again, this is a very forward-thinking, positive evening, a good opportunity for you to try to get a sense of what your freshman year might look like at the high school. I want to introduce a few people in the room. Up here with me is Mr. Duncan. He is our assistant principal here at the high school. In the back of the room, we have Miss Stamball. If you can't see her from where you're at, she's going to be in the gym. Miss Stamball is our Dean of Students. Students in the room, you will remember her from Brown Middle School as well. You may have had her in math class. She does a great job up here as our Dean of Students. Our school counselors are with us. Mrs. D'Onofrio works with students last name A through L. Ms. Browning with students last name M through Z. So they're up here. You will meet them in the gym shortly. And really, based on your last name, you'll have good relationships with them over the next 4 years as they help you with your career planning. I know you may have noticed them playing some music as some of you were entering. That's definitely their thing. When students enter each morning, they're usually playing some upbeat tunes in the hallways to kind of start the day off right here at the high school. So we appreciate our counselors. For the next few slides, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Duncan.
All right, like you said, my name is Mr. Duncan. I'm the assistant principal here at the high school. High school is a little bit different than middle school, as you guys can all imagine. We do have some different wording here that you might not be used to, and I'll kind of introduce you to that a little bit tonight before you go over and look at some electives. Mr. Lane, like I said, he did introduce the counselors here a couple minutes ago. Miss Browning, she will be down at Brown Middle School tomorrow morning. And throughout the afternoon in your English classes, I believe, and she's going to go over some more of the scheduling wording and the process with you. So it's something here at the high school. When you guys take classes and you pass them, you earn credits. And you have to earn credits to graduate. So if you take a class and it's a two-semester class, that's a one-credit class. So that's normally your core classes, like your math, your science, your social studies, your English. We do have one-semester courses. One-semester courses you're going to get 0.5 credits for. Those would be things like the electives that you're going to look at over in the gym in a couple minutes. It'd be like your art classes and some of your gym classes and some of your business and your woodworking and your tech classes. You do need 20 credits to graduate. Your counselors will be with you every step of the way. As you're taking all of those classes, they'll talk with you multiple times throughout the year, every single year, and then you become the most important people in the world when you're seniors, and they will speak to you approximately every single week to make sure you're on track for graduation, because that's the ultimate goal. Okay, some different vocabulary here that you'll see and you'll hear a lot of here in the scheduling process, especially tomorrow with Miss Browning when you're in your classes. Okay, some of your classes, they do have what's called a prerequisite. Okay, that prerequisite is a class that you can take, or that you have to take, prior to taking other classes here in the building. For example, we have drawing and painting 1, 2, and 3. Okay, you cannot take 2 and 3 until you take 1. You can't take 3 until you take 2. Okay, and so on. Okay, you do have required classes that you have to graduate. Okay, a lot of those are your core classes. You have to have 4 math, 4 English, 3 science, 3 social studies, okay, for a normal diploma. Okay, and then you have to have a couple other things such as a fine art, and you have to have health, and you have to have gym. So those are the credits that you have to have that are mandatory. Okay, and like I said before, your elective courses, you do need 5 elective courses. And that's what you're going to start looking at in the gym here in a little bit. We have a couple staff members down here in the front that are going to kind of explain some of the programs that are going to be offered. Okay, so which curriculum do you take? Okay, there's a bunch of different routes that you have. Okay, you can be college and career ready. Okay, these are the Common Core standards. These are your typical math, your typical English, your typical science and social studies. Okay, you can be on that path. If you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, you can go for an honors diploma, or you can go for honors classes. Okay, honors classes, they're going to challenge you. Okay, you're going to have more reading, it's going to be more rigor. But we do reward you with that when you have honors courses. Okay, if you're striving to be valedictorian, if you're striving to be top 10, okay, these classes will help you do that because you're on a better grading scale. Okay, when you're here at the high school and you get an A in a college and career ready class, okay, you get 4 points for that. Okay, if you get an A in an honors course, you get a 4.5. Okay, so there is some leeway there because you are challenging yourself, and we do think you need rewarded for that, so we put you on a higher grading scale. Okay, schedule changes and adjustments. I know you guys have never been through this at the middle school before. Prior to being up here, I do have some middle school experience with Mr. Lane. He's actually the one that hired me. So we were together down there for 2 years before I came to the high school, so I do have a little bit of knowledge of what goes on in the scheduling process at the middle school. Okay, so at the middle school, you're basically given a schedule, okay, and those are the classes that you have. There's not much wiggle room for change or anything like that. Okay, so there are some different instances when you can change a course up here. Okay, and I want you to be very careful when you're picking your elective classes and you're picking your different courses, because that's how we run our master schedule for the following year. Okay, we need to know who wants what, and we want to make sure that you really want those classes. So parents, once your child picks classes, you are going to have a say whether it's a go or not. Okay, we're going to consult you before making that schedule final. Okay, so there's a couple things that we can do, okay, if we want to change classes. Okay, there's a technical error in the scheduling process. Let's say you get scheduled for 2 second period classes. Obviously, you can't be 2 places at once, so we are going to change some of that. Okay, a student's academically misplaced. Okay, this can go one of 2 different directions. Let's say you're placed in an honors course and you didn't want to be there, and that was a mistake, or you are not able to do the honors course, then we can backtrack you to a college and career ready. There's been a lot of instances where the student comes to our counselor and says, hey, this is way too easy, getting all my points, can I do honors? Absolutely. Okay, we will always take a student from a college and career path to an honors course if they feel that they can handle it. Okay, or scheduling conflicts occur. Okay, there might be a time where there's only a class offered at one time, and if you really wanted that class and it's open, that may be a possibility to change your schedule for that. Okay, and again, teacher recommendations can be a reason that we can do that as well. Okay, reasons you can't drop a class. You know what, I really don't like that teacher. I walked in the first day, they rubbed me the wrong way, and I just really don't like him. I don't think I can be with them. Well, you're not always going to like your boss either. Okay, so that's not a reason to drop a class. Okay, you change your mind. Okay, sometimes you get into something and you just need to finish it. Okay, a lot of times you don't know if you're going to like it or not. Okay, you think it's one thing and it's the other. Okay, this is a learning experience, and you become a more well-rounded person by finishing that. Okay, you don't like or understand the work. Okay, not liking the work and understanding the work is obviously 2 different things, but I will tell you there are so many people in this building that can help you with anything that you have. We have RPT, which is somewhat similar to what you have at Brown right now. Okay, we have after-school tutoring Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. And I will guarantee you, if you ask any staff member in this building for help, they will drop whatever they're doing to help you. Okay, but the teacher or the adult just has to know that you're struggling, and somebody will be there to help you. Okay, you don't like the other students in the class. Okay, that seems to be a common one. I got in this class and so showed up and we had tons of problems at the middle school and I don't like her or I don't like him, so I want to change my class. We're not going to do that. Okay, and since we're at the high school, this is kind of a learning experience as well. We need to learn how to coexist with other people. Okay, and you'll have to do the same thing when you get to work, when you guys get to the workforce, is you're going to have to learn to work with people that you might not like, get along with, or care for. Okay, so everything we do here is for a learning experience. Okay, you think the class is stupid. If you think the class is stupid, you probably shouldn't have signed up for it. Okay, our counselors are not going to let you out for that. Okay, because you don't need it anyway. Unfortunately, you are a freshman this year, and you need everything that you sign up for. You need the electives, you need the cores, you need everything, so you can't drop it just because you don't need it anyways. Okay, we are very flexible here. Okay, we will do what's best for the student. Okay, but we do want to teach you that life has rules too, and sometimes you have to do things you don't want to do. Okay, College Credit Plus. Okay, this is something that we have here that not many schools have. Okay, we have the ability to get you out of Ravenna High School if you want to with college credit. Okay, Ms. D'Onofrio, the other counselor that was down here a little bit earlier, she's in charge of College Credit Plus. Okay, this allows you as the student here at Ravenna High School to take both high school and college credit at the same time. Okay, and so how do you do that? Okay, normally people go through Kent or Hiram or different colleges like that, but you are able to take these courses. Some people take senior English as a college course. They take their science courses. Last year we had a student graduate with 60 college credits. Okay, and that was all done prior to being out of high school. Okay, which that gave them a huge life jump. Okay, there are a lot of prerequisites that you have to do that. So if you are interested, when you go over there to the gym, talk to Ms. D'Onofrio. Okay, these are the different grading scales. Okay, like I said, the harder you challenge yourself and the more you challenge yourself, the more we're going to reward you. Okay, if you're on the college and career ready path, okay, your grade point scale will be a 4.0. Okay, that's the highest that you can get. Okay, if you really want to challenge yourself and you say, hey, I want to do all honors courses, okay, 4.5 grading scale. Okay, and if you really want to challenge yourself, CCP points and AP points, you have 1 point higher than the college and career ready. You're on a 5.0 grade point scale. Okay, so you getting a B is like somebody else getting an A because you challenged yourself that much. We think you need rewarded for that. All right, we do have what's called a 3E program. Our goal here at Ravenna High School, when you graduate, okay, our goal for you, and we will help you through this every step of the way, is to get you ready for the outside world, get you ready for society. Okay, our goal is to help you get enrolled in the college you want to go to if that's your path. Okay, it's enlistment. If you want to go to the military, we have tons of military recruiters that show up here every single day. Okay, and we have great relationships with them, and obviously this is a family decision, but we can help you with that. Or if you're going to go into the workforce when you graduate, we'll teach you how to make a resume, we'll teach you how to get out there to apply for jobs. We even have factories and different places that will come in here during a certain portion of the day, and they'll do job interviews, and kids walk out of here with a job that day. Okay, so there's a lot of different things that we have with our 3E program, but the goal is to prepare you for this as soon as you graduate. We don't want anybody walking out of Ravenna High School saying, I don't know what I'm going to do once I'm out of here. Okay, we want you in one of these three categories, and we want you fully prepared for college life, for military life, or for work life. That's our main goal for that. All right, and finally, before I turn it back over here to Mr. Lane, we have something here called loss of credit. Okay, and I know that at the middle school, you guys don't take classes for credit. Okay, and you don't have to earn a certain amount of credit to get out of middle school. Okay, our loss of credit policy here. Okay, if you miss 10 days or more in a semester class, okay, that's called loss of credit. Okay, you're not there for instruction, you're not there for activities, you're not there to do the things that you need to do. You automatically will lose that credit and either have to take it over again or find another elective to take. Okay, 20 days in a year-long class. Year-long classes are things like math, science, social studies, English. Some of the other electives can be year-long classes. If you miss 20 days or more in that time frame that you have that class, you will automatically receive what's called an LC, and that's a loss of credit, and you don't get credit for that class. We need to make sure that we come to school every single day. Attendance is very important. Okay, I have never met a struggling student that has good attendance. Okay, and that's probably from the time that I started being a teacher until I was an administrator. Okay, if you come to school, we will find a way to help you. If you come to school, we will find a way to get you through and get you the things that you need. But attendance is very, very important. Okay, that's one reason why we have this up here, and we don't feel that you'll get the instruction that you need if you're constantly missing days. Okay, there are extenuating circumstances to the loss of credit. It's not just, well, I'm having surgery, I'm going to miss 20 days, do I lose credit? Absolutely not. Okay, there's different circumstances to that. Any further explanation on that, we would definitely speak with you prior to doing that. I'll turn it back over to Mr. Lane for grad requirements.
Thank you, Mr. Really important attendance, and I know he stressed that a great deal. Just come to school every day. That's the best advice I can give you as your future principal as 8th graders. You show up day in and day out, you're going to be rewarded for your attendance. You're going to do well, you're going to have a good experience. He's correct. When we're kind of working with students and families that somebody's struggling or they're behind in their credits, I always open up our system and look at attendance, step 1. And it's always the same story. I see absences left and right. And right there, okay, we know the problem. There's at least one problem. There might be some other things going on, but we know that attendance is a problem. That's why we've dug the hole that we're in. So attendance is very important. So I want to talk a little bit about graduation requirements. You're probably sitting there thinking, I'm in 8th grade. Why am I worried about graduation? Well, it's time to start thinking about this. We have seniors right now that probably wish they could go back to sitting in these chairs as 8th graders and go through this again, because some of them are kind of getting a little nervous as we get here to the end of, oh yeah, I got to take care of this credit, and I got to get that seal. Okay, this is something that you will be able to take care of over your 4 years of high school. And we bring this up now because it really does start as a freshman. So there's 3 areas that we want you to focus on as you're going through your 4 years at the high school so that we can get you across that stage down at the stadium your senior year. There's course requirements here. Those are the classes you take. There's a demonstration of competency. That's the state tests that you take. And finally, there's demonstration of readiness. That is the famous high school seals that you may have heard about that we have here. So step 1, of course, far left, number 1 is course requirements. This is what it looks like for your 4 years, folks. You're going to do 4 years of English language arts. So 4 credits. I get 1 credit each year that I take English language arts. So I'm going to do English freshman, sophomore, junior, senior year. I'm going to do a half year of health at high school. I'm going to do 4 years of math. So I'm going to take a math class all 4 years of high school. A half credit of PE. A lot of students knock that out their freshman and sophomore year. We don't usually have a lot of juniors and seniors that need to take PE because they've knocked them out. Science and social studies, you only need 3 credits of those. So when senior year comes around, you have an option of taking a social studies elective, a science elective, but you will have taken care of that. Financial literacy is a very important class that we have here. Mr. Pointer is going to be up here on stage speaking shortly. He's one of the instructors for financial literacy. Very important course that every student coming up from the middle school will be taking now at the high school, so that you have that foundation of what it means to not just take care of your money, but know how to potentially invest money, work a budget, a household budget, all of those little skills that you should graduate high school already knowing, not have to try to figure that out on your own when you get out of high school. Fine arts and your electives come next. Again, this is where you get to pick some of those classes that you take. So that's number 1. Number 2 is demonstration of competency. Here at the high school, you take several end-of-course exams, which are the same things as the state tests that all of you take in the middle school. Up here, we call them end-of-course exams. And the name says it all. You take it at the end of the course to show, are you at the level of competency we want you to be at. You take a number of those tests, but when you get down to it, the 2 that really stand out for us as far as your graduation is Algebra 1 and English 2. Those are the 2 tests that we are hoping to see you score at that proficient level so that we can check that off the list of, all right, ready for graduation. We checked off Algebra 1, we checked off English 2. Now, obviously, I want you to care about all of the end-of-course exams, but we make a point to point this out to you because these are the two tests that matter towards graduation. And we work with students on that might not meet proficiency that first time around. We have kind of remediation set up so that students can get some extra support before they take it a second time. But those two end-of-course exams are important. And many of you will take Algebra 1 as freshmen, so some of you will be taking that as freshmen. Step 3 is demonstration of readiness. These are the seals that I talked about earlier. As you can see here, you must learn at least 2 seals over the course of your time at Ravenna High School. The reality is, though, that many of you in this room will receive multiple seals, okay? And we will talk more and more about this once we get you up here and your freshman and in your sophomore year. We really get in depth into the seals. But the bottom line is you got to get at least 2. And again, many of you in this room will get far more than 2 because of your hard work in the classroom, your hard work in the community. There's a lot of opportunities to earn these seals. We like to make a point to talk about online schooling here. You know, Mr. Duncan and I have been working together for a number of years, and he and I are always frustrated with the following cycle. A family will come to us and tell us, yep, we're going online. You know, we try to have a conversation with them. What can we do here to kind of make this work? You know, do we have to look at what the schedules look like? Whatever the case may be. Family leaves, student goes online. And within a few months, that student is right back here at Ravenna High School. What did you get accomplished online? We look it up and we see very little, almost nothing. And that's just something we see over and over and over. Now, I'm not saying that some people can handle full online schooling. They're out there. That's great. Those students, it's wonderful that they can be at home and get their online schooling. It's just not what he and I see day in and day out. So we always try to say, please stay here. Let's make this work here in this building. Because especially as a freshman, if you leave us, say, in November and come back in March, you're basically at March of your freshman year and you haven't earned any credits. That's just what we see all too often. So please, before you make a decision to ever leave the building and go online, just please sit down with us, talk to us. We can come up with a plan. We can discuss. The graduation rates are pretty clear that we have up here that the students that go that route definitely do not graduate at the same rate as the students that remain in our building and stay with us for their 4 years. So definitely have that conversation with us before you go that route. Now, here in a few moments, we have a few more slides to share with you, but here in a few moments you're going to be moving over to the Call Gymnasium next door, and we have a number of tabletop setups. We have a number of our staff members over there. Those staff members basically represent everything that you see up here. You'll have our business teacher, Mr. Pointer, over there going through. You'll have the world languages representative. Our athletic boosters have a table. The drama club has a table. We have a number of sports teams of Ravenna that have tables over there. The English department has a table. The music department, band, choir. And when we get you over to the gym, the goal for the rest of the night is for you to simply mingle around that gym and go to those tables and talk to those teachers. Especially if you have an interest in art. If you really enjoy art down at Brown Middle School, talk to Mr. Hall and Ms. Julian when you're in the gym in the next few minutes. They are our art teachers. And obviously you're going to have a lot of classes with them over your 4 years because you're somebody that says, I'm really into art. If you're a very science-oriented individual, stop by the science table. Talk to Mr. Bonfine, see what he has to offer as far as the courses and classes. So that's how things will kind of go when we wrap up in here, and it'll really be on your timetable. Once we get you to the gym, if you truly have somewhere else you got to be, by all means, you can exit at any time. But we definitely would prefer that you stick around, move around that gym at your own pace. And when the time comes where you feel like you've had your fill of us for the evening, then you can make that decision to head out. Last thing I'd like to talk about, I would like to invite some of our teachers up here on the stage with me. You may have heard of a Renaissance man. For this discussion, we'll say Renaissance woman as well. Kind of an individual that has wide interests, and is expert in several areas. What we're going to start to offer are 3 distinct pathways for our incoming freshmen to kind of make a decision that they want to go on that pathway. First pathway is art pathway, and Mr. Hall and Ms. Julian here will talk about this here in a moment. But basically, if you're an individual that's sitting there and you're just saying, wow, the art classes at Brown Middle School, I just really enjoyed. Just didn't want to leave, wanted to be there all day. Okay, maybe you should take up our art pathway. Because basically it's going to take you down a journey for your 4 years of, we're going to try to get you in as many art classes as we can. And we're going to track them and kind of watch how you're doing and kind of try to make sure that you get into those art classes because you've decided, I want that art pathway. We have an engineering pathway or an industrial arts. Mr. Parker here will talk about that in a moment. You know, if you're somebody that likes the idea that we have a fully functional shop here at the high school, which you just don't see in many high schools. Most high schools abandoned their industrial arts program in the building a while back and replaced them with computers. We still have the fully functional shop, so to speak. Mr. Parker offers metals, woods, a number of different courses in industrial technology. So if that sounds like something that interests you, maybe you're going to tell us here tonight, yeah, maybe I'll try that engineering pathway. I'm going to spend a lot of time with Mr. Parker over the next 4 years and really get all I can out of that part of your building and take all those courses. Finally, the business pathway. Mr. Pointer here is going to talk about that in a second. Maybe you're already, as an 8th grader, a little entrepreneurial, and you've got that business mindset of how the business world works and how businesses are operated and how budgets work. And all of those various things, how marketing works. How do you market a product so you get people to purchase it from you? Maybe you want to take up our business pathway here at the high school. That means you're going to spend a lot of time with Mr. Pointer over the next 4 years. You're going to take on all of those business classes that we have. Now, something we're going to do along the way to get the Renaissance aspect of this, if you choose to take the art pathway, we still want you to get a taste of engineering and business. Because again, the whole point is to be well-rounded. Have skills in several different areas. Art is my thing, but I can talk to you about engineering. I can talk to you about business because I've had that training and experience as well. If you're sitting there thinking, nah, business is for me, that's my pathway. Well, we still want you to get a taste of engineering, and we still want you to get a taste of an art class or two because, again, we want you to be that well-rounded Renaissance individual. So tonight when you go into the gym, you're going to have the opportunity, if you so choose, at our counseling tables. They've got a couple laptops over there, and we can actually get you signed up for one of these pathways tonight so that the counselors know going in, you're declaring, yeah, I really want to take that art pathway. I want to take as many art classes as possible. Or, you know what, that engineering concept really sounds interesting to me. That industrial tech pathway sounds really interesting to me. The counselors can help you with that. But before we get you over to the gym, I do want to ask our teachers that are running all of these classes to just talk briefly about their program. So I'm going to turn it over to them, and we're going to start with art with Mr. Hall and Ms. Julian.
Good evening. I am Mr. Hall. This is my 9th year up here at the high school. Just a little bit about our classes. We do offer every class that's up here, so a little different change from working with Ms. McKenna or down at the elementary levels where, we're kind of shooting everything at you at once over the course of, one class period. Some of you I know haven't had art probably since 5th grade when you went through elementary, but everything up here at some point in your high school career is going to be an option for you. So both of us are qualified to teach every class that's up here, so you might have drawing and painting 1 with me, drawing and painting 2 with Miss Julian, or vice versa, and then you're just going to kind of work your way up through. Miss Julian printed out for us a lovely pamphlet, so all the classes, when you go out here into the gym, these are going to be all your offerings for you as incoming freshmen, but as you go on into sophomore, junior, senior year, all these things become available for you. So if you get through drawing and painting 1, we move just basic drawing and painting. Drawing and painting 2, you might get into oil painting, larger scale stuff, all the way up to working with canvas, different materials. We have a unique ceramics, a whole classroom devoted just to working with clay. So if you had that one project with Miss McKenna, you like getting your hands dirty, at some point you want to work on the wheel, We have a whole class dedicated just to that. Digital arts, Miss Julian is in charge of that. She is absolutely fantastic working with the digital arts. But I'm actually going to turn it over to her to talk a little bit more about that.
Hi, I'm Miss Julian. So I'm going to talk about the digital arts, and then we have kind of like a miscellaneous category of mixed media arts. The digital arts are really great if you're into working digitally. You want to learn how to use a camera. We do a lot of photography. We have DSLR cameras, and we have an entire room devoted with just computers in it. So within Digital Media 1, I introduced you to Photoshop, photo editing, and manipulation. And then Digital Media 2 is basically just like a pure photography class. You're taking your own photos. We have enough cameras usually for everyone to have their own. And then if you really enjoy the digital realm, then we have a full year class where our students make and sell our entire yearbook from front cover to back, and you get a full art credit for that. So that would be our digital arts program. Again, if you're really interested in digital drawing, photography, photo editing, and Photoshop. Within our mixed media arts, we have a class called Intro to Mixed Media. I recommend that a lot for freshmen because it kind of gives you a taste of everything. We do a drawing project, you'll do a sculpture project, we can possibly work with clay. So if you are unsure of like which realm you want to go into, I always recommend mixed media because we give you a taste of everything within that semester. And then going into your second semester as either a freshman or sophomore, then you have a better idea of like, I really like drawing, I found out I was good at it, then you can go into the drawing and painting pathway. We have scenic arts. Mr. Hall teaches that class. It takes place behind the stage, and they build the sets for our plays and musicals. They also build the float for the balloon affair. And then we also have a sculpture class. That is if you, similar to ceramics, if you like working with your hands, it's 3D. It's very hands-on, and you're just working in like three-dimensional realm. And those are all the classes we offer. So I'll give it over to Mr. Parker to talk about woods and metals.
Hi, I'm Mr. Parker. I've been teaching here for, I think, 10 years, and as Mr. Lane pointed out, we still do operate a fully functional old school shop, if you will, where we have our woods and metals classes. Do we skip a slide, or are we in the opposite order? I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, we'll do this one. All right. Like I said, it's an old school shop class where as a student you'll get to come in and you'll get to operate power equipment and machinery as well as hand tools. This is a class that's really all about marketable skill sets. So we're trying to set you up with a foundational skills that will either make you money or save you money as a homeowner or a vehicle owner down the road. We're just trying to get you kind of a basics kind of thing. As you come in, you'll probably take the Intro to Woods and Metals Manufacturing course first, and that's kind of just a catch-all. We do a little bit of everything in that class. The first project we make in there is a cutting board for our woods. We get into some process-based things in metals, and then we go into a metals project to finish out the year, or the semester rather, sorry. In all of those classes in the shop, we're focusing on safety, measurement, and process. So we're always just trying to kind of hit those big three as we go through anything in that shop. We also have 2 tracks. You can operate in the woods track or the metals track, and those get progressively more independent as you move through those tracks. So first courses, I'm going to give you a lot of projects that you'll make, and then as you move into metals 2 or woods 2 or woods 3, now it's going to be a little bit more on your shoulders to come up with what project you want to make in those classes. If we can go back to the other slide. Sorry. In our technical design class, which we've gone through a couple of different names on that now, for the time being we could probably just call it the STEAM class. This is a little bit more kind of a high technology, if you will. We're doing some CAD work, we're doing computer aided design in three dimensions. We can print our designs as well. We're doing some basic electronics, and we're doing some programming in there. This is a more interdisciplinary class, and meaning that you will be using a lot of the things that you're learning in math class or science class, and even a lot of things that you learn in English class in this class. So we're kind of trying to cram everything together into one room and really kind of make things make sense in there. I say that because I want you to know that it is a difficult class, and if you want to challenge yourself, then this might be the class for you. And we'll pass it over to Mr. Poinar for business.
Hi everyone, I'm Mr. Poinar. This is my second year as the business teacher here. I'm going to run you through my program real quick. So ideally you would take these 3 classes in that order. Freshman year, you start with foundations. I call it the ABCs of business. We talk about, hey, what is money? Where does it come from? What determines the cost of the things we pay for? What makes products successful versus unsuccessful? Next, you move up to management, which I would like to call how to be a boss and a leader, which we dip our toe into all the aspects where you could actually be able to run a business after you are done with my class. And then lastly, we have sports and entertainment marketing, which I will say is, I'm biased, but it probably is. It's it's one of the best classes we have to offer in this school, I think. It's a lot of fun. And all my classes, I will say, we dip our toe into business. I was a business major in college, and I like to give kids a taste of, hey, if you were to major in college, I know a lot of kids aren't going to college, this is what they would teach you. So you get an early head start on the stuff that I learned in my career. Lastly, I do want to say I do like to keep my classes light and fun. We like to learn, but we like to have a good time, and we like to laugh. And if you like to do any of those things, please join this Renaissance program. Pick my business pathway, and I cannot wait to see you next year, hopefully. Okay? And we'll see you out in the cafeteria. Here's Mr. Lane.
Hey, that was a great plug for the program. Very good marketing right there. Might go into the theme here. So again, folks, no decisions have to be made tonight, but again, we have these pathways. Ms. D'Onofrio, Ms. Browning will have those laptops open if you think you want to just click that tonight with them to say, yeah, I like the idea of the art pathway. I like the idea of business. I like the idea of engineering. Because then they will have that list. They'll be able to make sure they schedule your classes properly for your freshman year to get you on one of those 3 tracks. All right, coming to the end here, appreciate everybody's attendance. Now, again, this is how it'll work from here. When you leave the auditorium, you'll head over to our call gymnasium. Now, the concession stand out there is popcorn there for you to take. Our friends from the Athletic Boosters have come out tonight, and they've got popcorn free for all of you to take as you go into the gym, so please help yourself. Definitely please thank them for being here. I know Mrs. Stroh over there, she came in tonight just to help us out with this, and it's just wonderful that service that she provides for the school. So you can grab some free popcorn, you go into the gym, and again, there's no set space you've got to go when you're over there. You freely move around that gym. Check out the tables you're interested in. Stop by to see your counselors. There's athletic teams in there that want to talk to you because they want you to be on their teams next year as freshmen. That's why they're there tonight. So talk to the coaches as well. If you have any questions for any of us, please feel free to stop any of our staff members over there. With that, thank you for this for your attendance. We can start to head out the doors there to the call gym. And again, I appreciate your attendance tonight. Thank you.
and in their ability to help society fully recognize the dignity of all people. At DSPU, we share those same goals. We help educational systems
Okay. With the live stream.
We were going to stream it so then I could blast out the video.
Okay. In that case, why don't we start with the first video? This is a little bit about what being a DSP is all about, and you might recognize somebody's voice in this video. So check it out.
A structured education with intentional goals has long been viewed as essential to human progress and development. It helps people grow into the best versions of themselves and readies them to contribute positively to and for the common good. Education doesn't merely help build and improve students' skills, it also assists in the expansion of their characters and in their ability to help society fully recognize the dignity of all people. At DSPU, we share those same goals. We help educational systems nurture their students' characters and develop their knowledge and skill sets for entering the workforce as direct support professionals, ready to support individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Through DSPU, students are placed on a track of development that helps equip them for whatever long-term goals they may have, including careers in fields as diverse as healthcare, therapies, education, and many other essential professions. DSPU offers vocational vision and can inspire passion in students who are searching for a way to make a positive contribution to and for the common good. I'm Becky Watson, Director of Engagement at OADSP. Contact me at bwatson@oadsp.org to discuss the benefits of onboarding DSPU's fully developed program.
So I bet you didn't know you're going to meet a celebrity today.
A structured education with intentional goals. We help.
Thank you. Yeah, so there's Becky over there. Becky and Kevin work for an organization called the Ohio Alliance of Direct Support Professionals. We're going to talk a little bit more about what being a direct support professional is all about. But they both work very closely with the DSPU program. And if you guys choose to take this really valuable curriculum next year, you'll be seeing a lot of them and me. So something to look forward to. Just to introduce myself real quick, my name is Katrina Kohout. I work for Portage County Board of Developmental Disabilities. My job is Provider Support Coordinator, and essentially that means I help providers with whatever they need, and more often than not, that's staffing. So because of the staff shortage in Portage County, we brought DSPU to our county with the help of Kevin and Becky, and we're offering it in several local school systems, and things are going really great. The kids are loving it. So what did you think of that video? Did you recognize the direct support professionals in that video? Does it look like a fun job? It does, right? Imagine getting paid to take somebody to the movies or go shopping. Sometimes, once in a blue moon, you might even get paid to go to Cedar Point with somebody. And that means you get paid there on the way back, your ticket's paid for, just to go have fun, right? It's a pretty sweet job. So think about the steps that it took you to get ready for school this morning. You had to set your alarm last night, right? Maybe you packed your lunch, maybe you hurried up and did it this morning. You had to brush your teeth, take a shower, get dressed, catch the bus, or get your ride to school. And imagine if you needed just a little bit of help to do one or all of those steps. That's what being a DSP is all about. It's helping people who have developmental disabilities do what they need to do in life, because everybody has the same needs and wants, whether you have disabilities or not. So your jobs as DSPs would be to assist people live their best life. It's very meaningful. And every day, you're really going to know that you did something super important. So let's get on with the presentation. Left on top. Oh, on, okay. You know what, can you just go slide to slide for me? Cool. So, what is a DSP? We talked a little bit about it a moment ago. DSP stands for Direct Support Professional, and DSPU stands for Direct Support Professional University. And it really is just about the most important job in the field of intellectual and developmental disabilities, because without DSPs, people don't get the services that they need. They're not able to grow into their full potential. But with your help, you can help make a difference in their lives. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Can you follow me like everywhere? Okay. So as a DSP, you can work in a variety of capacities. There are DSPs who work here at school, for example. The paraprofessional aides are a sort of DSP. There are people that work in the home environment, in a group home or a supported living setting, where you're working with one individual to maybe 4 or 5, 6, 7 at a time, with other staff people with you, of course. And there's also people that work in the vocational setting as DSPs, helping individuals learn job skills and live the life they want to live. So there's all sorts of available jobs and opportunities. And because we serve people 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, there are all sorts of positions to meet whatever shifts you're looking for. So DSPU, let's talk a little bit about that. It's a nationally accredited career training program teaching people like you how to be DSPs. It was created by OA DSP, and that is who we purchased the curriculum from to be able to bring it to you. Typically, this DSPU program would cost maybe $1,000 to $1,500, depending on how many people you're in the class with. Portage County is committed to paying those costs for the foreseeable future. We're also getting some funding from different organizations to help foot the bill. But this will not cost you or Ravenna High School anything to be able to take part in this really valuable program. And as a DSP, you're always going to have a job if you want it, essentially. Another part of my job is helping recruit for all of the agencies who work through us. So when you get to the end of the program, it's going to be me assisting you to get the job in the community that you want. But anyway, there's a shortage nationwide for DSPs. So you could get this training and pick up and move to California, example, to go to college and be able to pick up work as a DSP, because the credentials that you're getting are both an Ohio credential and a national credential. So this is something that never expires, and you'll be able to take it with you wherever you go. So talking about the credentials, there are 2 career credentials. The CIP stands for the Ohio Certificate of Initial Proficiency. That is the DSPU course that you guys will be taking here at Ravenna. And you'll also get the National DSP1 credential. So that might mean you may be able to walk into a job and get a higher rate of pay than somebody who hasn't had this intense training that you'll be going through. And like I said, it comes with job placement assistance. Got it? Okay, you can see some of one of a recent class of DSPU students there. They're learning first aid and CPR. While that's not part of the DSPU program, we are committed to teaching all of our students first aid and CPR and getting you certified in that free of charge, because you will need that as DSPs. So that's one check in a box of training that you won't have to complete, and another reason that an employer might want to hire you over somebody else. So in Portage County, we do things a little bit differently. We work exclusively with high school students with DSPU, whereas in other counties, it may be older students and not necessarily doing things the exact way that we do. And who is going to teach you? You're going to have great teachers who have a ton of experience. At Portage DD, we have 13 people who have gone through the 8-hour training to be able to teach you this curriculum. And here at Ravenna, likely the teachers will also go through that training. But these are going to be people with a ton of experience in the field that you can really learn a lot from. Okay, so what all does DSPU entail? Like I said, you guys will be doing the CIP program. We run it as a 2-year-long program. Your junior year, you take the curriculum. That'll probably look like 1 day a week to 1 day every 2 weeks for a couple of hours that you will be learning each module. There are 20 modules total that take about 3 hours to get through each. So for a total of about 60 total hours of education in the classroom. Then, once you have that under your belt after your junior year, you're going to be able to get a really cool internship. And we have so many opportunities for you guys to choose from. One might be working right here in your school, assisting people in the special needs classroom, your peers. It might be working at day programs throughout the community. A day program is somewhere where people with developmental disabilities might go to do crafts or activities or small work projects. It could be working in a group home, like Independence or Hattie Larlum or the variety of other agencies in our community. So that's your senior year. We like to see the internships at about 100 hours or more. And then along with your internships, your senior year, you will be earning 15 e-badges online. And we'll talk more about e-badges as we go on. Now, you can also utilize this program as an alternative pathway to graduation. So if you have concerns about whether you're going to have what you need to graduate, we can talk about that a little more in depth. But this does count for school credit. Okay, so these are the classes that you're going to be taking your junior year. We don't need to go through all of them in detail, but you can take a quick look. Lots of really meaningful things. You're going to learn about the history of people with disabilities. Things look a lot different than they did 10, 15 years ago, and beyond that, my gosh, you're not going to believe the things that used to happen with folks with disabilities. We've come a really, really long way. One thing that I find really interesting in the DSPU curriculum is you're essentially learning how to be a teacher, right? That's going to be part of your job as a DSP, is being a teacher for these folks. You're going to learn about different learning styles. So I don't know if you guys noticed, I had some fidget toys up here. And that's because some people learn better when they fidget. They have a kinesthetic learning style. They need to be touching something. Other people learn better when they doodle. Some people learn better when there's music involved. But you're going to be able to identify your learning style, which is super helpful, as well as the people that you work with. And then, like I said, in your senior year, you're going to be having that 100-hour internship, the 15 e-badges, and then you graduate with your 2 career credentials. So here's what the timeline looks like. This spring, we're going to be giving you the very first class. And that is so we can secure funding that is about to expire. But we need to get you guys 1 class before summer. So we have that funding to pay for your DSPU session for the following year. So that first class is going to be sort of an introduction to developmental disabilities. Then you're going to come back in fall, and we'll be meeting probably weekly in person to complete that curriculum. That's both in fall of spring of this coming school year. Next school year, in August, that's when we start figuring out what internships you have. And to figure that out, we're going to invite the intern providers excuse me, here to school to meet with you so you can learn all about their organizations. And you're going to select your top 3 choices. Then we're going to get with the internship providers to see, what availability they have. And then after that, along with your teachers and you, we'll decide what internships you'll start with. Ideally, I would like to see students in more than 1 internship. But if you fall in love with the first place that you're at and you want to stay there, that's great too. I really want you to see all of the careers that are out there in the field of developmental disabilities, because there's a ton. And the thing is, people don't have any idea that these jobs exist, and they're really, really good jobs. And you're going to feel good every day you go home about the work that you're doing. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice a little bit. Okay, so talk about the internships next year. Fall, you begin your internship and earning your e-badges. And then in spring, when you graduate with your career credentials, I can help you find a job. So let's talk about a little bit about what you might expect with those jobs after graduation. In a moment. First, we're going to talk about tests. There are tests associated with each module. There are 20 modules total, and at the end, you'll have a test where you need to score 80% to prove your proficiency, but don't sweat it. We're not looking to fail anybody. We just want to make sure that you are absorbing the information so you can retake that test as needed. And if you need accommodations for test taking, we can talk about that as well. What if you miss a day? Then you need to make up that module online. And what will you be doing during your internship? So we talked about some of the options that are out there. What you won't be doing until you graduate is providing transportation for people, administering medication, or doing intimate personal care stuff. You're not going to be helping people go to the bathroom and stuff like that. You need to be a full DSP who is 18 and has your high school diploma to be able to move into that role. And you're always going to be working aside an experienced staff person. So you're not going to be out there on your own floating around. I have a picture here of Sylvia. Sylvia is an individual that we work with, and she participated in our art show last year. One of the cool things you can do as an intern is assist us with the activities that we do at Portage DD, all the fun stuff. We have tons of art nights where people come in and do crafts and fun things, and then they actually enter their art into an auction where people purchase it, and the individual gets to take that money home with them. So Sylvia was one of our star artists last year. So, down to the nitty-gritty, right? What are you going to make as a DSP? Well, thankfully, there was just a big wage increase with the state through Medicaid. So whereas DSPs were making on average $12 to $14 an hour locally, now that's in the $16 to $18 an hour range. So you're getting into it at the right time. Now that is what you'll make as a full DSP once you graduate the program. It is possible that you could have employment through one of the agencies that we work with before you graduate. There's another role called direct care aide, where you would get paid between $14 and $16 an hour while you're in high school. What can you do with a DSPU certification under your belt and working as a DSP? There are so many careers where being a DSP is a great first step. For example, you could be a teacher at school like this. You could be a speech, respiratory, PT, OT, art, or music therapist. Nurse and doctors, this is great training to get the patient care skills that you need and learn that empathy that's essential. And then you could also have a really cool job like mine. So lots of places to go with it. Here you can see a yoga class that I organized. That's another possible activity that you could assist with. Special Olympics is looking for help for interns and programs like this, all the other things that we do. That's pretty much what I had to say. Here's our contact information if you need anything. And with that, I'm going to see if you guys have any questions. I think I'm going to go ahead and put the mic down for this portion.
meal prep. So you can talk about how did I assist that person with that, or maybe you'll help them plan a party for St. Patrick's Day. So, you know, they decided that they wanted to have certain decorations and certain snacks, so you can help them with their socialization. So we had some group of students that for Easter, they helped the people they were supporting to color eggs. So, you know, they had an egg coloring party, and then the next week, they had a lunch party, and they used the eggs to make egg salad sandwiches. So they did one activity that covered two of their passions. So you 109.